internet of value at Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days, just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward.
Take on it.
There's trillions of dollars parked around the world. XRP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over SWIFT one day?
Well,
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of 24 Hours of Crypto. Let's get right into today's video. Today is Tuesday, April 22nd, and this is going to be one of the most bullish videos ever, and this will go down in history. I was watching a video that I created about just a year and a half ago when the price of XRP was around 50 cents. I'm going to play it to you in a moment, not yet. But my goodness, I watched it twice from start to finish, and I cannot believe the accuracy and the information and where we are today in 2025. A $30 XRP is laughable, and they lied to us. Well, we don't want to say lie. They're not going to come out here and say XRP is going to go to $100. Nobody from Ripple is going to come out here verbally, regardless of their fundamental framework that they released in 2018. They gave a conservative price target, and they didn't even factor in RWA or anything else. They just factored in foreign exchange, which is not even 5 trillion anymore. It's like 9 trillion, corporate payments and retail remittances. And just those alone with an adoption rate of 3%. And don't forget about all the other stuff that they did not factor in here with ETFs, physical XRP that's going to be being held, liquidity pools, AMM. So much is not put into this PDF when they calculated a $30 XRP. And like I said, a $30 XRP can happen this year. And listen to this video. We're going to set the tone right off the bat. They're coming, and it's going to happen this year. Listen to this video.
So it takes like the first movers to jump in and really push the envelope, like Strategy kind of leading the way, Rumble coming in, now GameStop coming in. Everyone's starting to slowly come in. It starts at slow at first, and then it happens all at once. I think we're at that point now in 2025 where it's going to happen all at once. And it just needed like some legs over the last 1 or 2 years. And I think we now kind of seeing those legs. And I think you're going to see the floodgates open up here very quickly. Everyone's going to follow. They needed to see the first movers do it.
And then if you want to hear what Ripple and Jeremy Allaire says, we're going to get into the Circle Payment Network white paper quickly, just to show you again how they are going to be working alongside Ripple and its digital asset XRP.
Trillions of dollars of value move across borders every year. By 2030, it's expected to reach 300 trillion.
we feel like XRP is the only digital asset really poised to solve a problem at scale, a global payments problem. We feel like XRP is the only digital asset really poised to solve a problem at scale, a global payments problem.
By 2030, it's expected to reach 300 trillion.
Improve it with more scalable blockchain technologies like Brad's company provides.
$300 trillion by 2030. And look at this white paper here when they're talking about settling payments seamlessly across chains. They go on to say that the Circle Payment Network enables native settlement of stablecoins across multiple blockchains, offering a seamless mechanism for cross-chain payment transfer. And also says here, I did not highlight it, where is it? Right here. Initially, the platform will support a limited number of chains at launch, with further expansion to additional blockchains driven by network member preferences. Very important for you guys to understand. So do not get alarmed, which we talked about in yesterday's video and briefly. But again, here's another verbatim of them telling you that, they're going to, remember what I said, they're all going to coexist. So there's nothing to worry about there. But now when we go ahead and play this video, we got to do a prayer for this one, because at the time, like I said, it was 50 cents. And all of us that are on this journey together, remember, we're not, again, as much as it sounds like cliche or corny, but we're not like your average thinking individuals, right? To the ones who saw what others ignored, to the ones who didn't just buy XRP, but understood it, This is for us. You guys know that we've been laughed at, doubted, called us crazy. They mocked us at 20 cents. They mocked us when XRP was at 50 cents. And they still mock us at $2. And all we got to say is just let them. Because they don't see what we see. They don't feel what we feel. They don't know what it's like to wake up every day knowing something the world isn't ready to accept. And, you know, people comment in the comment section saying, yawn, cool. Let them yawn their way into a lifelong of misery. They're not skeptics. They're scared of being wrong. Scared of waking up one day realizing they were surrounded by visionaries and they missed it. This journey wasn't meant for everyone. I want you guys to understand that. It wasn't meant for the few with discipline, with guts, with balls to believe in something before the world validates it. And we held through all the lies. Oh my goodness. All the lies around XRP, through the lawsuits, through the silence, because we didn't need noise. We needed the truth, and we have the truth all right here. We have been documented since day one. And we're almost there. When XRP hits $100, it won't be luck. It won't be hype. It'll be the result of obsession, patience, conviction. And that's something that most people just simply do not have. So let's go ahead and finalize this, I guess, prayer. May your wallets be full. May your conviction never waver. And may you never waste time explaining yourself to fools who aren't even worth your breath. Because you didn't just hold a token, you held the future. Like, you guys understand how important this is, right? And when everything settles, we won't say, I told you so. We're just going to smile. There's nothing to say. Remember, this 20-year-old, right, put $1,000 into Bitcoin, around $10 and $12, and came out with $4.5 million. There's a very small amount of individuals that hold XRP. And after you're done watching this episode, after you're done watching this breakdown, a $30 XRP, if you want to plan your life around a $30 XRP, go do it. Go do it. As much as it sounds like you can't predict the future, be quiet. The people that say that kind of nonsense, you're again, and also the people that get triggered when I call people morons, I really don't care, because the individuals that get triggered when I say moron are, I mean, do we call you morons? Like, what's the point of getting triggered? If you know you're not a moron, then just move along. Move along. Somebody left a comment yesterday saying they love the content, how they worked at JP Morgan or blah, 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 blah. That's great. That's great. I've worked in a regulated industry, like you mentioned in that comment, myself for 10 years. My attitude has always been the same. I'm not here to change my attitude for one person or another person. This is not a game here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to document a once in a lifetime opportunity. And if you want to sit there crying on your other end of the screen thinking, just listen to the information. This is something that you got to just go balls deep and just keep accumulating, okay? Don't worry about me calling other people morons. Worry about accumulating your bag, staying alive so you could enjoy the wealth. Okay, so with that being said, unreal information right here. So the OTC, this was released April 2022, and I've yet to see an updated one, but the numbers will be much higher. This is the foreign exchange turnover rate, and we are looking at $7.5 trillion per day. And we have the CEO of Citibank, Jane Fraser, talking about how they are moving trillions of dollars in flows daily across borders, currency, and asset classes. And it's only going to get larger. And if you guys remember, Tyrone from JP Morgan Chase looking over Project Onyx.
So when I talk about the $10 trillion that we're processing every night.
So there we have another $10 trillion. That's overnight. So now we're at approximately over $25 trillion on a daily basis between Citi, the foreign exchange market, and JP Morgan Chase. It gets even better, because the day after the Bitcoin ETF was approved, on Fox News, they're pretty much talking about the characteristics of XRP without pretty much mentioning it.
And I like to use the example, if the Bank of Mitsubishi in Tokyo needs to transfer $100 million worth of yen to the New York branch and convert it to dollars, you need $100 million worth of yen in Tokyo and $100 million worth of dollars in New York. You're tying up $200 million in capital. If you can attach that to a coin, it's simultaneously, so the bank frees up half the capital. That's a big deal. But we haven't made that jump yet.
Yeah, but it looks like it's coming, doesn't it?
I think so. Okay.
And given the ecosystem that Ripple has built in the past decade with regulatory agencies across the world and financial institutions, there's going to be a huge demand coming for XRP. But there's a problem. There's only a fixed supply of XRP. And that is very important. So listen to Brad Garlinghouse here.
There is, relatively speaking, leaving forks aside, there's relatively speaking fixed supply, and you have increasing demand. And when endowments and institutions, Joey and I sat in a meeting not that long ago with, some of the largest institutional money in the world trying to get smart about crypto. They owned zero on that day. I don't know if they do today. But as they enter the market, you have fixed supply, increasing demand. You don't have to go to MIT to know what's going to happen.
And before we get into the calculation, listen to Ripple here, because it's going to go hand in hand with what we're talking about.
So what I find fascinating is that trillions of dollars of value move across borders every year. By 2030, it's expected to reach 300 trillion. Here's how it works. Let's say a business wants to send pounds from the UK to the Philippines. First, they request an FX quote on pricing and foreign exchange. The business receives the quote, approves it, and then submits payment instructions. A digital asset acts as a bridge currency moving from the UK to the Philippines. It is then converted to local currency through Ripple's global partner network. The recipient then receives the exact amount quoted to them in Philippine pesos in real time.
All right, now let's get right into it. So I've showed you guys this in the past. This is a map of the world and pretty much XRP connecting all the economies together. The reds are not connected. The greens are connected, but what you're looking at here, it's not a level playing field, and there's still friction in the system. What they're trying to achieve is have a level playing field across the globe, connect all the countries together, so the final end game looks like this. Go ahead and smash that like button, ladies and gentlemen. It's only going to get better. So here are some of the use cases for XRP: cross-border payments, banking and financial institutions, remittance, microtransactions, smart contracts, tokenization, CBDCs, stocks and bonds, debt, retail, foreign exchange, DeFi, gaming, and NFTs. But this is so conservative, of course, that you are going to see how big this is going to get. I'm only going to show you the small numbers. I want you to educate yourself, and I want that light bulb moment in your head. I want that light bulb to go off in your head. So here we have is 1 XRP equals $1. So we're going to use the Canadian dollar, and we're going to get some US dollars. We're going to move that across borders. It could be a bond settlement. It could be any kind of ownership, asset, real estate, any kind. This is what I mean, that it's endless. There's going to be so much value flowing through this. So here we have $100 million, and it's going to utilize 100 million XRP to do this transaction. And that is 0.14% of the total circulating supply, which I have calculated to be 70 billion. Okay, because right now there's about 60 billion. I don't think we're going to see escrow be released or anytime soon. So the 70 billion is where we're capping the circulating supply, and this is what the math is based off of. So, I mean, that sounds okay, but we're only doing $100 million. We just talked about trillions on a daily basis, right? Okay, so let's scale it a little bit. So XRP is still at $1. Now we have scaled it to $700 million. And this would use up 1% of the circulating supply. This sounds pretty reasonable, but we're only talking about $700 million. It's not even a billion. Let's scale it up a little bit. XRP's at $1. Now we're at $1.3 billion. Again, pretty basic. 1.3 billion XRP would be utilized to these transactions. I kept it pretty simple here. I mean, I could have done other currencies, foreign exchange, stock settlements. This is for you to see the bigger picture. And I'm just helping you, I'm guiding you. This is 1.9% of the circulating supply, which is 70,000. Okay, let's scale it a little bit again. $1 XRP, $2.2 billion being moved. We're looking at about a 2.2 billion XRP being utilized, which is 2.9% of the circulating supply. And $2.2 billion is nothing. Okay, so now this is the big scenario. And these numbers will be reached 100% because it logically makes sense. And I'm leaving out so many other use cases where there's going to be different values pouring in and XRP being utilized. 1% of $10 trillion is 100 billion. 5% of $10 trillion is 500 billion. So given that XRP is at $1 and we're going to be doing at a $100 billion valuation here in this scenario, 100% of the circulating supply will be used up. That's 100 billion, not 70 billion with what we're doing. And I know you guys are going to say, oh, it settles in 3 seconds and it frees up again. Listen, there's a lot of use cases coming for XRP, like line of credit, loans, stock, bond, debt, tokenization. There isn't enough XRP. There isn't enough XRP. But there will be enough XRP when the price goes higher. So a $30 XRP with $100 billion value, we're looking at 3.3 billion XRP, which is 5% of the circulating supply. That sounds much better. But we're gonna have to scale because $100 billion is nothing. Let's go to 500 billion at $1 per XRP. I mean, it's negative 400%, whatever you wanna call it, because there isn't 500 billion XRP out there. Now let's go to a $30 per XRP, $500 billion in value, 17 billion XRP being used up, which is 24.3% of the circulating supply, which we're projecting at 70 billion in this calculation. Do you see how this is peanuts? And you're probably wondering why hasn't this happened yet? Because they all want to start at the same time. They have an agenda. Ripple is the only crypto company out there with these massive partnerships. There is nobody else close to Ripple. What don't people understand about that? I hold I hold about maybe 15 to 18 assets myself. I'm not an XRP maxi, but XRP is, I know, going to be one of the best performing assets. Let's continue on or I'll keep ranting. Let's scale it up to $1 trillion. I mean, XRP at $1, it's impossible. And when we do a $30 price for XRP, 33 billion XRP would be utilized when we're having a daily volume of $1 trillion, which would be 48% of the circulating supply. Ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate every single one of you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Go back, look at the slides that I've created, try to understand it. I've left out so many other use cases, right? And I mean, even going based off of this, the maximum calculation we did is $1 trillion. We just put up 3 entities with the foreign exchange, Citibank, JP Morgan. It's over $25 trillion.
Massively scale over the next few years into many trillions of volume and scale on a daily basis.
A lot of people, like I said in the past, are going to be in for a rude awakening when XRP does the impossible, is probably what you want to call it, when it starts outperforming all these assets and people actually understand where the utility is coming from.
We feel like XRP is the only digital asset really poised to solve a problem at scale, a global payments problem.
It's Started with a vision, now it's spreading wide. SLT's the token, it's our Degen pride. 24 hours crypto, leading the call. Bringing XRP believers, united we stand tall. First ledger's on fire, trades like the scene. SLT's the movement, power in the dream. From the memes to the moon, we're making it real. 100 XRP, that's the deal. I salute you, you salute me. Together in XRP we believe. From the trenches to the skies we see. XRP to 100 destiny. This ain't just a token, it's a battle cry. For those who know, XRP will fly high. Salute is the name, SLT the ticker. First ledger's buzzing, trades getting quicker. Building the future, brick by brick. In a world powered by Ripple, the vision will stick. We're more than a meme, it's a movement strong. XRP believers, let's prove them wrong. I salute you, you salute me. Together in XRP we believe. From the trenches to the skies we see. XRP to 100 destiny. 24 hours crypto, the captain of the crew. SLT's the anthem, for the bold and true. Through the dips and the pumps, we stand and fight. Believing in the ledger, in the dawn's bright light. I salute you, you salute me. Together in XRP we believe. From the trenches to the skies we see. XRP to 100 destiny. So raise your SLT, let the world hear the sound. XRP believers, we're Ripple bound. From the memes to the charts, the vision is clear. Salute to the future, the time is near. I salute you, you salute me. Together in XRP we believe. From the trenches to the skies we see. XRP to 100 destiny.
We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening. Flip the switch. I think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.